Good day and welcome to everybody joining us for this preview, which will be for Friday. Racing takes place in Fairview on the turf track, and joining me on the line is none other than Grant Paddock, and Grant Paddock is going to take us through the meeting. Welcome, Grant. How are you doing, and how's the weather your side of the world?
Morning, Sheldon. All good my side, and the weather's top class at the moment. 100%, much better than the last weekend, but looks like a good one for tomorrow.
Now, when you've studied the card, I see you do have a banker in the pick six, which looks a ready-made banker. What do you make of the entirety of the card?
Decent card. I think there's a bit of money to be made. Two tricky races, being the 4th and the 5th. Otherwise, towards the last three races, a person can go very short. There's a solid banker later on, but we'll go through that. I don't think it's a bad card. I think the exotics will pay not too much, probably in the 30, 40 grand range maybe, if we're getting those results in races 4 and 5. But there's definitely money to be made, Sheldon.
Let's get straight into the action. As they say, you can start off the batting. You can open the batting in the first race. Are you in the camp of either 8 or 9? I see Vision of Wonder is priced up at 16 to 10 anti-post, and number 9 Watchtower is 5 to 2, and then you can get 7 to 1 and better the rest. Are you in the camp of either 8 or 9?
Yeah, Sheldon, definitely are. Is the scratching of the 4 Prince of Denmark has come out. Vision of Wonder and Watchtower, they hold the same kind of form lines. There's been no early money, but the punters must keep an eye on the 7 horse here, Winter Lake. What a winter out of Maureen Delago. Have a look if there's any money for that horse race day. Then that should go in. But the bipot 8 and 9 will suffice. The 3 horse Legal Thriller, there was a bit of talk about this horse first time out, and he ran a very one pace kind of a run. He'll probably enjoy this 1200 meters and maybe even a bit further, but his horse should be running on late. But I think I'll make it between the 8 and the 9, and those two numbers will get you through the bipot.
Moving on to race number 2, which will be run over 1,000 meters. And in race number 2, number 1, Uncle Ticky Bird is currently trading at around 13 to 10. 33 to 10 about number 2, Reggie's Girl. And then we can go out to 7 to 1 and better. Is Uncle Ticky Bird your first selection, or are you looking to beat the favourite in race number 2, Grant?
Yeah, definitely looking to beat the favourite in race 2, Sheldon, there's no doubt. What concerns me is had 5 runs, of 2 of them have come back with post-race distresses, and that always there's a big red flag for me. And these maiden handicaps have thrown up some serious results. I'm in the camp of Reggie's Girl. Yeah, she just needed her first run. She ran 3.25 to Pomodoro Magic. It was a very decent run, and she can only come on from that and be a big runner. Siberian Fox is holding form, and so too Jackson, Mississippi. There's not much between those two. So I'm going Reggie's Girl from Siberian Fox, Jackson, Mississippi, and then only Uncle Ticky Bird.
I'm glad you mentioned the maiden handicaps, because it does throw a curveball to the punters out there. You've obviously got to have a second look, and as you mentioned, Uncle Ticky Bird, there's a few boxes that need to be ticked, and at around 13 to 10, you could be on the right mark, whereas Reggie's Girl gets the 3 kgs from Uncle Ticky Bird, and horses, as you mentioned, like Siberian Fox and Jackson, Mississippi, that's just got 54.5 on the back, so certainly worth including.
Yeah, 100%, Sheldon. You know, those bottom weights have been winning these handicaps regularly in Port Elizabeth. They really have made it difficult for the punters to work it out. But, yeah, I think Reggie's Girl's the right horse, I must be very honest with you.
Let's get straight to race number 3, and this is where the exotics will really start to stretch, and you've got to get those numbers on. They're going over 1,400 meters. Number 3, Teardrop, is the anti-post favourite. They are betting 28 to 10 the field at this early time of recording, so the punters must take note. Final declarations on Friday morning at around about 9 o'clock, 9:30. Take a look at those final declarations. Just looking at your numbers, 1, 2, 3, and 7. You're looking for pretty much a form result in the opening leg.
Yeah, it should be a form result here. I see there has been early money for the 4-horse Federal Reserve, but they do tend to back this horse every time he comes to races. Probably a very, very good track horse back home. I know a couple of times he went down a little bit iffy, so punters need to have a look at that. I'm willing to look past him. Teardrop Cape Town form is very strong, and so too Ponderosa Pine. I think those two will fight it out. A slight preference for Ponderosa Pine. She is really doing some decent work. I can't wait to see this filly on the poly, actually. I think she'll do even better. I did train one of her brothers, and he was very, very good on the poly. So I'll make it Ponderosa Pine Teardrop. Myers Cat can improve off that sprint. He's probably will be better over this 1400. And then opening ceremony with the weight off his back and reach it up from a one draw. It's got to be there. So those four should get you through. If you want to add one more in, and hopefully he goes down well, that Federal Reserve.
Rightio, let's get on to the halfway stage, which will be race number 4. And on this occasion, they're stretching them over 2,000 meters. We're number 1 grazing in the grass, Richard Fourie and Alan Greef, 62 kilograms on the back. He's a 5-year-old, trading at around 18-10 at the time of recording. 9-2, number 3, Peace in Our World. And then 6-1 about number 5, Ideal Angel. Just getting the feel that you don't trust race number 4.
Yeah, no doubt. I went field. Very, very tricky race. This horse, the favourite, grazing in the grass. He's had 2 runs over 2,000 metres on the grass. Yet to hit the board. He's lumping 62 around. Not going to be easy for him. He's held by Jaeger Moon on the Algoa Cup run, so I've got Jaeger Moon ahead of him. There's no doubt. And I think Gavin Smith's other horse, Peace in Our World, is also a big runner. And then you go down to the bottom weight, Magnum Fire, who's definitely got a place chance in a field like this. Even though he's out at the weights, his comeback run was superb the other day, and he's come on from that. But very tricky race. FLD field in the pick 6, and hope to get a result.
I'm glad you mentioned that about number 1 grazing in the grass and that horse earlier on in the day, because when there are horses that are favourite and the people see them at the top of the boards, the punters automatically think, well, this is going to be the horse to beat. But when they are vulnerable, you're willing to take them on, and that's the route sometimes you got to go, and it pays dividends.
Yeah, 100%, Sheldon. You know, the form is all in front of you. The facts are all there. You study it, and you see that this horse hasn't run a drum in over 2,000 meters in 2 tries, and he's held by other horses in the race. So I don't know how they mark them up like that. Probably off a good last win, which over shorter and on the poly. But the facts are there. You know what I mean?
100%. A few of the runners are a little bit suspect, so look deeper into the form, and that's why we have Grant Paddock on the line, because he's the expert down there and he gives it as it is. Let's go on to race number 5, where they are betting 33-10 the field in an open-looking affair. Grant, in race number 5, who'll be your top 3 selections?
Yeah, another tricky little race. I've put 6 horses in the pick 6 here now. The 1, the 2, the 4, 5, 6, and 7. I can tell you one thing. If this horse Brendan James had a draw, I would have told you good thing. Unfortunately, he's drawn out deep. I don't know what the tactics are going to be. He normally goes up there. You probably try and do the same, overcome it without using too much horse. But he's definitely a runner. Not a very good track horse at home, but his grass gallop was pretty decent. And then this horse, Honest Quest. You've also got the likes of El Romiachi, who's done extremely well over the mile. I think he's won 6 times over the mile. So he's done very well. Unfortunately, the grass mile hasn't been his best. He hasn't won or run second on the grass mile. So there is a question mark over him. And then the 3-year-old carrying top weight of Then In Focus. He's probably the right horse if you look at the form in the race. But no, I'm not a big fan of 3-year-olds carrying that kind of a weight. But he still should do it. A tricky kind of a race. You're going to need a few to get through here. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Let's get on to race number 6, and this is one of the legs where you've gone light. You've gone 2 runners in this leg, then you have a banker, and I think 2 runners in the last leg. You're looking between number 2, Fedra, and number 8, Pacific Green. Pacific Green at this stage of the game is the hot pot favourite, and then we have Fedra, who's trading at around 7-2. You're looking as a match race this event.
I am. I really do. I actually prefer Pedro to Pacific Green. I'll be very honest with you. She went to Cape Town. She ran in a grade 2 there. She wasn't disgraced. She got beaten 5.4 by Princess Kala, who came out and then won a grade 1 after that. So I honestly think that is stronger form than Pacific Green. Pacific Green, I think she won that ladies race on midday, if I wasn't not mistaken. She did win it well, but I don't know if that's the same kind of a form that Pedro comes out of it. So I'm going to go for Pedro to beat Pacific Green, Miss Nibbles, and then Franca to fill up the quartet. The place accumulator, I do suggest take both horses. I don't suggest you banker, just take both horses, you'll be safe.
Let's go on to race number 7, which is the Bai Stakes, listed for the 3-year-olds, and they'll do battle over 1,400 meters. Now, when you look at this race, the script couldn't have been written better for Kaya's Hope. This is a horse who stands out head and shoulders with a rating of a 107, looking for 4 on the trot, a horse who's really shown good ability on the course. And when you look at the field, the ratings and everything put together, he should prove superior to this field, Grant?
Yeah, he'll destroy this lot. There's no doubt, Sheldon. He's a top horse. He really is a very, very good horse. He's got a draw. I don't see him having a problem. The only unknown horse here is Blackberry Molt, who's run to some very decent horses in Rockpool, 5 lengths, Inamarare. Those are decent horses, but this horse, Kaya's Hope, he's done absolutely nothing wrong. And over 1,400 at Fairview, even when he goes a mile, he'll even be better. Banking and everything, whatever price, is a good price.
There we go, around about 5 to 10 at the time of recording. So if you're looking to take your doubles and your trebles, all to comes, this could be the horse to fill it up and hopefully comes home lonely at the business end of affairs. Grant, 1 race left on the card, which is over 1,400 meters. Race number 8, which is due for at 16:45. And hopefully the bankers come through and a few of the doubles and the trebles have arrived. And then you'll be going with 2 runners here. Let's kick off with number 2, Cherry Anno. Cape Town Noir, this individual, first time out, won by over 3 lengths. Keegan DeMello for Gavin Smith. All we can say, it was ultra impressive.
Yeah, he was in first gear. Very, very, very nice horse. Big horse, beautiful action. He's definitely found the right race from a 1 draw. He likes to go up there. I see Keegan probably sitting first or second. Lovely horse. He's definitely behind the handicapper. In front of the handicapper, so he's 74 rating. I think he's going to go through the divisions, this horse. I think he's a top 3-year-old. Very, very, very hard to beat. And then I went for my value bet, the 8, Chariot Master, who ran a superb race, 1.5 lengths behind Flinders Range last time out, drawn 14 out of 14. He's now got a beautiful draw. Same jockeys up. He's a big runner. He shouldn't miss the first 4, even the first 3. And I think he's really the only danger to Cheriano. But Cheriano, confident selection. I think Gavin Smith will have a decent day. The last 2 races look like it's his. And I think the punters can finish off with that double if they are in trouble.
Now, number 8, Chariot Masters, running off a 62. He did achieve a 80 at the height of his career. And then just throwing a little bit of stats into the works, that draw number 4. If you look at the last 558 races over the course and distance, the second most number of winners have come from that draw. So for the guys who follow the stats out there, you could be onto the value exacta selection.
Yeah, 100%, Sheldon. The draw is a very big factor, and you tell me that, then it gives me even more confidence towards the value bet. And he's doing well at home. His work is very good, and he's done nothing wrong since he's come out the maidens. If you go back and watch his previous run, he come from Stone last. He was cutting through them the last bit to get beaten length and a half. He's a definite runner. If something's got to go wrong with Cheniano, I really do think he'll pick up the pieces. I don't see him missing the top 4.
Well, thanks very much to Grant Paddock. Don't seeing him missing the top 4. And as we mentioned, those who do follow the stats from the last 558 races, the second highest number of winners, so maybe his 2 horses are going to be the boxed exacta and they'll run first and second, and if Chariot Master does come through to win, that will be the value. Well, thanks very much, Grant, and as per usual, you've given us a lot of insight as we're going to move on to the bets and the selections for the day, and they'll bring up that slide now. You've decided to go with the pick 6, numbers 1, 2, 3 and 7 in the opening leg. The second leg, you've gone just about the field there. I think it's the field. You can see numbers 1 right through to 8, followed by numbers 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 and 7, by 2 and 8, by banker 1, and in the last leg, numbers 2 and 8. Best bet, race 7, number 1, Kaya's Hope. At the time of recording is trading at around 5 to 10, and you heard from Grant Paddock earlier on, should leave this field in the wake. Race 8, number 8, Chariot Master, that will be the value selection on the card. As you bring up my suggested bet, I'm going to go with a buy pot. So I'm going to go with the buy pot for my suggested bet, and I'll get you those numbers very, very shortly as we get onto my buy pot. So give us a few seconds there, and my opening leg, I am going to banker number 8. Then we're going to go with banker 1 by numbers 1, 5 and 7, by 1 and 3, by 1, 2 and 8, and then banker horse number 8 in the final leg of the buy pot. Thanks very much, Grant. You've been utmost help for us and all the punters out there. We really appreciate your input, and have a tremendous day's racing.
Thank you very much, Sheldon. Go well your side.
Thanks very much to Grant Paddock joining us on the line for the meeting at Fairview. We've gone through the card, and now it's up to the horses to do it on the track.